No, it absolutely makes sense because growing adductors or whatever they want to call it, soft tissue injuries, those are not one-game injuries, Skip. Those are not something that you just bounce back from. Normally, growing injuries, the severity of it. Some of them you have to get repaired, and some of them you just take, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. He's had an injury similar to this, Skip, and he missed, 20-something games. So he missed about 6, 7 weeks. So hopefully it's not as severe, and what I've been hearing is that it's not as severe as the one that he originally suffered when he first got there. Being a professional athlete and having injuries is different because, Skip, if I'm working 9 to 5 and I go play pickup basketball and I tweak my ankle, I tweak my groin, I can still go do my regular job. But if you're a professional athlete and you have one of these injuries, your job is not to just do your job. You got to do it at the elite level. And so you're asking LeBron, like, if you can't run, you can't change direction, and Darvin Ham is saying, look, he's still getting his work in. But that's a one-on nobody's workout. That's a 5-on nobody's workout. I can control that. But when you get in the game and people bumping into him and you got to pick up speed and all of a sudden you got to stop, you got to change directions, nah, he's not there yet. I believe as long as he still can get, say, 55 games in, he's going to break Kareem's record this season. You think so? I do. Wow. But he's going to have to get at least 55 games in, Skip. He's going to have to get 55 games. I think the thing is also what's helping is that AD has been on a tear. He's averaging 35 points, almost 18 rebounds a game. Yep. You got Dennis Schroeder coming back. You got Thomas Bryant came back. And so you got guys coming back that can chip in and help some of the offensive load and also help AD on the defensive end. Austin Reeves has been playing unbelievable. Russ has settled in and playing his role. Look, go turn the ball over. But if you're going to give me 10 assists tonight, I can skip. I'm going to live with 4 turnovers. I'm gonna live. If you're going to give me double-digit assists, I'm going to live with the 4 turnovers. Like death and taxes, you're going to get 4, maybe 5. Yeah, I'm going to live with it. But, it's November. Hopefully, maybe he missed a couple of more games, and he's able to come back and it doesn't have any more setbacks. But, this is the right approach to take, Skip, when you're dealing with a groin injury, adductor, whatever, hip flex or whatever the case may be. This is not a single-game injury. Okay, so they're 15 games into this season. They're 5-10. Right. They have won 3 straight games against, obviously, Brooklyn without Kyrie, then Detroit, then San Antonio, what's left of the Spurs. Y'all woke up and like, hold on. Are we trying to get Wembanyama or not? Yeah, we are. we are. So you have 3 games there, and I kept looking at those 3 games as LeBron possibilities to go for 30 or maybe, who knows, 35 or 40 against those kinds of teams. Right. And yet, miss. Right. And that told me serious. Oh, absolutely, like, okay, so this is no trifle. This is nothing to sneeze at, scoff at. Okay, so they're 15 games in. That means there are 57 games left in the year, and you want him to get 55 total games in. Once he comes back, he's going to have to pretty much stay back to get to 55, right? Yep. And yet, I still say he's at least top 5 driving the basketball in this league. He can still play bully ball with the best of them. He just might still be the best driver of the basketball. He doesn't get the calls the way he used to. And he does get hammered and pounded. Yeah. So the problem you have is your strength can turn into your weakness because if you're going to attack the rack, you're going to take some shots. Yeah, but as you get older, Skip, you just can't do it. Michael Jordan didn't drive the ball nearly as much as he started getting older. Kobe didn't drive the ball. Okay, they got really good at that. Perfected that little fadeaway, and it wasn't that far. It's like 8 feet, 10 feet fadeaway. Yeah, right. They started playing in the mid post. Yeah. And so Skip, that turnaround, that fadeaway. It was money. Okay, I don't see that from LeBron. He'll go through stretches, but his fadeaways are deeper to me. Yeah. They're 20-foot fadeaways, and they're spectacular when they go in, but they're hard to get on a roll. Yeah. And his three-point shooting right now is at the dead last bottom of the league, so he's off to a horrendous start. And he's under 70% from the free throw line. All right, so wrong, but you're still incredibly gifted. Your athleticism remains pretty much intact to me, to my eye test, where if you're feeling good and you explode to the rim, you still look like LeBron James to me, right? Yeah. So
if your goal is to obviously catch and pass Kareem, you're still 1,077 points shy.
Right.
Man, that seems like a lot. You're not even under 1,000 yet.
Right.
We can't even start any countdowns yet because we're too far from a countdown, right?
I just skipped it, but here's the thing. Driving the basketball does what to your groin and to your adductors?
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
So that's why.
Plus, you're going to get knocked off balance. You're going to land awkwardly. That's what happened the other night. He came down awkwardly, and it pulled.
Yeah.
Okay? It starts to happen.
Yeah, people don't pull groin shooting jumpers.
No, they don't. I mean, I guess it could happen in some weird mix if somebody fouled you or submarined you or whatever. Yeah. But the point is, they don't. But this is where it all happens, unless it's on the defensive end. But he's not going to, as you say, sit in the chair a lot.
No.
Okay? So if you keep bringing up the fact that Karl Malone just thought it was a done deal. He was going to pass Kareem, and then it wasn't a done deal because Father Time said, sorry, Karl. Right. And I knew Karl very well. In fact, I campaigned for the Dallas Mavericks to draft him, and they passed him right by. But the point was, he exploded to the basket. That's what he did. Right. And over time, he took. Listen, he delivered a bunch of shots too.
But Karl didn't take any games off, Skip. I mean, he didn't miss. Karl Malone didn't miss. But back then, nobody missed games. Everybody was damn near played 82. Unless you had a broken ankle, a broken leg, or something, Skip, you played.
Sometimes I think you plant seeds in the back of the mind, like, oh, I could get hurt, so I should start taking back-to-backs off. Yeah. And then you do get hurt because you start thinking about it. Yeah. It's like going back to the great Leroy Jordan, the middle linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. He told me once upon a time, the harder I play, the healthier I stay. Right. Well, isn't that the truth? Yeah. Right?
You find yourself loafing around, standing around, and then somebody gets slung over the pile, and they come flying out of control, and they hit you because you're not paying, because you bull jiving, and boom, you get hurt.
Okay. So, obviously, it would be a spectacle to see LeBron pass Kareem. It'd just be great theater. Okay?
It's going to happen.
Well, is it for sure?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I'm starting to wonder because I used to call him Iron Man, and I can't call him Iron Man anymore, right? He's starting to look like Plastic Man to me.
Well, Skip, I mean, you go to, 8 straight finals. I mean, think about that. I mean, 8 straight finals. And we saw what happened to players that went to all those finals. I mean, when Steph went to all those finals, he missed a whole year with a wrist. And Clay missed 2 whole years. And they just fell apart. He went to 8.
So they finally go win a road game at Houston. And then they just all sit. Everybody sits the next night. Okay, well, that's the new NBA.
That is.
Because once upon a time, we just broke through on the road. We're now 1-8 on the road. Let's go do it again.
And I think that's why it's going to be so hard if LeBron does get this record, Skip, for someone to break it, because they just don't play enough games anymore. Everybody guys are load managing at bare minimum 10 games. And if you get nicked, that's another 5 to 10 games that you're going to be out. So you're playing probably, what if guys played 80, 82? I mean, 82 games, playing 82 games, Skip, was a normal occurrence. Yep. I mean, it was like a badge of like, man, got all 82 of them in. I went to work all 8, punched the clock 82 times.
Look at Jordan, how many times he played 82, and a couple times he played 81.
Yeah.
Okay. So for LeBron, it's starting to be diminishing returns because if he goes in and tries to be LeBron, he's at risk. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So now you say he needs to cut back on his threes, but I think he's thinking in his mind, all I got is the 3 because it's the safest shot. I'm not going to get hurt shooting 3-point shots. Well, I might get hurt psychologically.
The thing is, Skip, if he goes to the basket, you got to pay it off by hitting your free throws.
You do.
It doesn't do you any good to go to the basket, get fouled, and then you miss the free throw because you put yourself in harm's way. For what return?
I agree. And it even worse doesn't do you any good if you drive it and get hammered and they don't call it. Right. And you stand under the basket saying, what? And they go down there and dunk it. Yeah. Okay.
You got the ball going the other end. But he'll get the record. And I'm going to be in attendance.
Well, you better be.
I'm going to be in attendance.
We'll miss LeBron this evening, guys. We're taking on the 10-2 Suns, second in the Western Conference.
He goes, stop saying that. Stop wondering. You trying to manifest something. I'm going to be right there in attendance with you.
You need to get a hold of Jason Momoa and see if Father Time can back off.
Get that thing, LeBron. I'm going to document that one.
Back off, Father Time. Leave him be. Leave him alone.
Because when we have our Last Dance documentary.
Right.
They're going to be using some of my footage.
All right, maybe
I think I'm watching it right now.
You a hater. You're just a flat-out hater, man.
Last Dance.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.